Hey folks, what's going on? SE Rocks here with you once again, coming at you with a new RoxXx retro review. Been away for a while, had some issues with my computer and such. Decided to put together a new RoxXx retro review for you guys. Gonna change it up a little bit. The last ones have been about movies. Today we're gonna hit the video games. Those of you who know me know that I like to collect retro games, consoles, toys, memorabilia, anything really from my childhood, that 80s, 90s era I like to collect. Maybe I'll throw some pictures of my collection up here somewhere near Freddie or Jason. Yeah, so we're going to go back to the main classics of the NES system, Super Mario Brothers. We'll do Mario Brothers 1, Mario Brothers 2, Mario Brothers 3. A little controversy on which one of those three is my favorite, I think. Mr. James Dillinger out there, chime in the comments about what you think about my opinion. But we'll start off with Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. Came out in 1985 with the Nintendo system. I'm sure everybody out there remembers the original Super Mario Brothers. As a child, I loved it, but I hated it at the same time. It was really difficult for me. World 8 specifically. I never beat the original Super Mario Brothers as a kid. I think in my early 20s or something, I picked it back up and I did a run through and I was finally able to beat Bowser. World 8 was just really hard for me. I'd play through it and play through it and play through it, and I'd finally just give up. Duck Hunt, Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. I never really cared for Duck Hunt. It was one of my least favorite games with the Zapper. I preferred Hogan's Alley. But as far as Mario Brothers goes, like the sound effects in Mario are timeless. I love the sound effects, the music, the score for Mario is phenomenal. I love it. I remember as a kid always thinking that when Mario was throwing his fireballs, he was like throwing fire boogers. So that was like my comedic thing about Mario, is that he always threw fire boogers at his enemies. Yeah, so Mario Brothers is a classic. Came out with the Nintendo system as a pack together, pack in, whatever they call them. Great game to this day. I still love the music to it. I don't play it very often. It's one I'll throw in once in a while. Just try to do a quick run through. I usually get to like level 4 or something, and I call it quits. I'm going to skip ahead to Super Mario Brothers 3, the one I'm sure all of you guys out there probably think is your favorite. Probably remember most from your childhood. Super Mario Brothers 3 came out in 1990. And before it came out, one of my favorite movies as a child, also The Wizard, like had the first spoilers, I guess, of Super Mario Brothers 3. They had like a video game competition. Those of you who aren't familiar with The Wizard. Fred Savage stars in it, one of my favorite actors as a child also. So yeah, they got spoilers, and it really got hype for Super Mario Bros. 3. You know, what were these warp whistles and all these, you know, new power-ups that Mario had, and the worlds looked amazing on these huge screens from The Wizard. And the game itself is awesome. It's a phenomenal game. It still holds the test of time now. You can put it in and play through it. The worlds are beautiful. The music, it's good, but I don't like it as much as Super Mario Brothers 1. The music just, I don't know. Something about that first one, that every song for every level was different, and it just sticks in your head. But Super Mario Brothers 3, as good as it is, I found it boring at times. I don't know why. It was really long, I think, is what the issue was. If you wanted to sit down and play through the whole thing, it would take a really long time. Longer than my attention span would ever garner me to sit there and play. Some of the power-ups I didn't really care for. I hated the frog suit. I thought it was really pointless. It was only good for the water levels, and even then, I didn't care for it too much. The Tanuki suit was cool. There were cool power-ups. I just didn't really care for... There was the frog suit I didn't like, and there was... like the cloud was kind of goofy. It'd give you a run through a level if you were having difficulty, but I never really used it. It was just, there were a lot of power-ups that you never really used if you were actually going to sit down and play the game like all the way through. That being said, I did enjoy Super Mario Bros. 3, and I get a lot of flack from people when I tell them what my favorite Mario Brothers of this generation is. If I had to pick an overall Mario, I don't think it would be this one, but and that being said, there are other Mario games on the Nintendo system besides Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. You got Dr. Mario, Mario is Missing, Mario Time Machine, Mario's actually in Punch-Out. He's the referee. There are a lot of other games that he's in, but I just wanted to throw this together for the the 3 main Mario games for the Nintendo system. But there we go. Super Mario Brothers 2 is my favorite. Not 3, but 2. My favorite game for the system that was Mario Brothers related. Came out in 1988. It was actually supposed to be Doki Doki Panic. Well, it was Doki Doki Panic over in Japan, for those of you that don't know like the backstory on Super Mario Brothers 2. It was Doki Doki Panic in Japan. Japan released Super Mario Brothers 2, but thought it was going to be too difficult for the North American gamer. So Nintendo America changed Doki Doki Panic, took it, changed the sprites out. If you watch, like, go to YouTube and YouTube Doki Doki Panic, and you'll see the gameplay is pretty much exactly the same, just the sprites or your characters are different. I don't know what it was about the game. Maybe it was the fact that it was so much different than Mario 1. The gameplay was different. You could choose your character, which I thought was cool, even though I always picked the princess. I hated Mario. I didn't like Luigi, the way his feet fluttered when he jumped. I did pick Toadstool for 1 or 2 levels, but Princess, her like floating hover jump was always my favorite to use. There was just something about it that was fun to me. The levels were fun. There was a variation in the levels and the difficulty. The bosses were fun. I liked Mouser. Mouser was fun to fight. I'm not sure what really puts it ahead of Mario 3 for me. Maybe it was just the time that Mario 2 came out was like the peak of my childhood gaming, and I just really loved it. I know that era of games, I know Master Blaster is one of my favorites, and I think that came out about the same time. Adventure Island is another one of my favorites. It's all nostalgia for me. Like, video games, Nintendo specifically, were like my escape from, childhood problems, I guess. And the ones that came out and I was able to play at that time, I think are my favorites now. I'll pop them in once in a while, and I'm like, man, how did I ever play this? It's not that enjoyable anymore. But Mario isn't like that. I can still pop it in and play it. Funny story about Mario Brothers 2. Last year, I tried to do like a run-through and beat every Mario game up to Super Mario World for the SNES. I beat Mario 1, I beat Mario 3, I beat Mario World, and then I went back to Mario 2. And as you guys know, the old systems don't have save features like all these, high technological systems nowadays do, where they have save points every 2 minutes. If you wanted to play through it, you either had to play through it or you had to leave your system on and hope somebody didn't stomp on the floor, or your animals don't knock it off the table or whatever. I was almost to the final boss. I almost made it to the end of Mario 2 again when I was trying to do my run-throughs. I had to pause it, go to work, came home. The dog had knocked the system over and it froze. I was so mad. I gave up. I'm like, well, I was there. I know I could have beat it. But I was just trying to do a run-through, just something for myself. It was irritating but funny at the same time. Like, I had to tell Lil Dre that, you had to pause and wait, and if something like this happened, it would make you pretty irate. So, yeah, that's my rundown on the top 3 Mario games for the NES. If any of you guys have memories or anything, drop them in the comments. Let me know what your favorite Mario game is. If you want to debate the fact that I think Mario 2 is the best, bring it on. I got pretty good debates for this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I plan to do more. I know Saw, we're going to plan on doing some more wrestling videos. Hopefully a shoot in the works too, those of you guys that know what a shoot is. We have videos on aliens, Bigfoot. We've had talk about going out and doing some interview work with some people, interviewing people on some certain topics, some controversial topics. I think it would be fun to do. Watch the videos, like them, subscribe to our page, Super Awesome Wrestling Show. Give us ideas, stuff you want to hear us talk about or argue about. The doc isn't here, obviously, but we get some good banter going back and forth on certain topics. I think you guys would enjoy listening to us quarrel a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like our videos. Keep an eye out. We got more coming. SE Rocks, Rocks Retro Reviews.